There are 5 relationships that if you have will move your future forward. So many of us spiral and get stuck in the same place in life. There's a real correlation to the people you surround yourself with and the direction that you head in life. In this series, we will share with you 5 relationships that will change your life.
One of the relationships that you need in your life is a model and a mentor. And we're going to talk about what both of those mean, but I want to read this quote. It says, "People seldom improve," and we all want to improve, but people seldom improve when they have no model but themselves to copy after. And so what that's telling us is that we can't be our own model. We can't be our own mentor. And so as you guys think about the profile of a model mentor, what does that look like?
I think a model and a mentor are a little different. A model could be somebody that you might not know as closely in life. So maybe it's like an author that you really respect, and they're kind of a model for you, or a boss or a life coach, and you're just kind of modeling your life after their example, but you're not like in close proximity necessarily. And a mentor, when I think of a mentor, it's normally someone who's just a couple steps ahead of you in life. They don't have to be like so old. I think even if it's just like a year or two, maybe they've been through something already that you haven't been through, and they can mentor you through the process you're going through.
Yeah, that's really good. So I feel like what I'm hearing is that a mentor is someone who's maybe a little bit further down the road, and a model could be someone that you don't even know. So if someone's thinking, okay, I want to find a model or a mentor, how do they find one?
I mean, for me, some of the great mentors in my life have been just people that I'm watching from afar. I'm like, I really respect their leadership. That's one of the things I'm always trying to find in mentors is, okay, who's someone that's in proximity of me that I could find who's really good leader in different places of life. I actually think you need 3 to 6 models and mentors at a time. You don't just pick one. You have lots of different, but I remember I had a guy that was my mentor for a little bit, and I finally got an appointment with him. I kind of like had a friend that knew him, that like we got connected. We had coffee for an hour, and I just came in. I didn't ask him to be a mentor. I asked him a ton of questions, and I took a notebook and I wrote every single thing down. And then typically mentors will go, hey, you should do this, and give you a little bit of homework. And every time he would do that, I would do the homework and I would text him like, hey, I'm done, would love to connect as soon as possible and follow up. And that started a mentor-mentee relationship.
So what I'm hearing is that you took initiative in that mentor relationship, and one of the ways that we can seek out mentors is by taking initiative. But what I also really appreciate about you, Jason, is you're being poured into, but you also take the time to pour into others. And one of the ways that I've seen this demonstrated before is imagine ducklings, right? You ever seen like ducklings crossing the road? There's always a mother duck, right, that they're following, but each duckling is following the duckling ahead of him, right? So that's their mentor, but they're also leading a duckling behind them. And so I think one of the things that we can do is we can seek out opportunities that we can pour into other people, and that will actually bring more wholeness to our mentor-mentee relationship.
Yeah. And I think that brings more joy and hope in your life. Is it doesn't make it so individualized. When we're just seeking all about us, it's all about my development, my growth. But really where I learn the most is honestly when I coach the most, when I give what I've learned, and when I teach. I always say, like, when you teach something, that's actually when you learn it the most. So if you want to have a good mentor relationship, you got to seek out people also that you can be a mentor.
Yeah, that's good. And it makes me wonder if we are only surrounded by mentors, if we're only surrounded by these people who are pouring into us, is there maybe a blind spot that we got to watch out for?
I think we end up with just so much information and so much knowledge that we get on information overload that we actually can't really apply any of the things that we're learning. If we're getting coaching coming from all different directions, I think it can almost paralyze us. So I would choose specifically, a couple good mentors. And then like Jason said, I think the biggest thing is then to find some people you can pass it down to, because that's where the exciting things happen when you are really changing, you're growing in your life, and you can find some other people who are just one step behind you. You don't have to be scared that you have to know it all. That's not true. You don't have to know it all to pass something on to someone else. Go ahead and find someone else that you can share what you're learning with.
Yeah, it reminds me of an illustration that someone once shared. It's like we're all sitting on a 3-legged stool, and that stool is made up of 3 legs, which is knowledge, application, and passing on. And so if one of those legs is missing, what's going to happen to our stool? It's going to fall over, right? And so we always want to be growing in knowledge, applying the knowledge that we're learning from our mentors and then also passing it on.
Thanks so much for watching The Brook Online. Be sure to like the video, subscribe to our channel, and be sure to download the Brook app so you can stay up to date with all the new media as well as all the new events we've got coming up every single week.